Hey everybody, welcome to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin, and this is our Eldrazi Taxes deck. We're on the draw here, and we're playing against, I guess it's mono-white aggro, soldiers or something. There's a Kythian. I've actually seen sort of the idea of this deck around before, sort of a very budget-aggressive red-white deck, or sorry, just a mono-white deck yep, it looks something like this. Interesting. Okay, well, this seems pretty fine for us here. We'll take the Glory Bound out of his hand. We'll pass the turn. And next turn I'll just Shriek Maw the Kythian, or maybe better to Collective Brutality. Depends on what he does here. Perfect. Yeah, he just plays that. So we're going to Collective Brutality the Kythian and to get the Brave the Elements out of his hand. So we're taking a little bit of beat down here. That's a nice draw too, actually. We could play Relic plus Push, but I think getting the Brutality out while we can is good. Mana base doing us some damage here, but it's probably fine. Alright, so I would like to target opponent, reveal their hand, target creatures -2, target opponent, that guy. Choose that Kythian, discard this extra relic here. Alright, so I think we've slowed the beat down, as it were. It seems pretty good for us. Alright, and there goes the Brave the Elements, and just like that, he's got no board. And we have Fatal Push for whatever comes next. A lot of Ghost Quarters. Alright, thought not good quite yet. Guess we go ahead and get in there with his Mutavault. Sure. Alright, sweet. That actually means that we no longer have to take damage to Fatal Push something. And we gotta blow up one of his lands, which, I mean, he can probably cast anything he can draw anyways, but this still, I'll take it. Alright, so we've got Fatal Push. I'll just cycle the Relic at the end of the turn, since I don't think his graveyard was going to matter much here. We can try to hit a land, play Thought Knot, which would probably be just a beater at this point. Yeah, there's a path. I'm not going to say no to that. There's a Concealed Courtyard, however. Not much we can do with it. Alright, I'm not sure what he could have here. He needs tokens, really, to get through our defenses. I believe this is just going to be a sweet 5-mana Shriek Maw. Soldier of the Pantheon. Protection for multicolor, huh? Oh, thought he was Lieutenant. Alright. Alright, well, let's just go ahead and kill the Soldier with the Fatal Push. Hopefully draw land to kill the Thalia's Lieutenant. He's out of cards in hand. Oh, that's not a land, but we can start Thought Knotting, and that's fine too. Sure, I guess. It's worth a shot. If I can see why he did that. I mean, if he's not gonna need that mana. It's worth a shot to see if we maybe don't have any more basics. Unfortunately for him, we do, and we're going to start a train of Thought Knots now. Alright, so we just get to cast this for free. Well, for free, I say that. Free in this case being the 5 mana, the actual all the value from Shriek Maw, not having to evoke it. That is a Thalia, I agree. That doesn't scare me much. Tideholder Scholar, let's see what you drew. Got a land, okay. I could play the Thought Knot there. It beats down a little better. But it also, if something weird happens and, you know, he has a wrath, like, I wouldn't think there'd be wraths, but it's sort of our best card, so I didn't mind holding it in case something went weird. As it turns out, that was not the case. Just get in here with the fear. I just want to hold back, so it felt like this was the better way to see his hand than this. Because I have no idea what, you know, we sort of think we know what he's doing with his deck, and obviously that's what, you know, the information I went on. But there's just no reason to commit our better cards to the board when we have the game so locked up. we can just play this way. Don't really see a way in which we lose, so sure, Glorybound Initiate happens. Okay, so we'll just get in there with these guys. Does this thing have reach or anything weird? Can block dragons as though it had reach. Well, we do not have dragons. Our opponent seems pretty dead here. I'll just go ahead and just pass the turn. This thing gets lifelink, right? Sure. We will go ahead and path it. And that should do it. Alright, let's play game 2. This feels like a pretty good matchup for us, to be honest. Kalidas is great here. Brutality's good. Liliana of the Last Hope's actually really good. That was one innovation I made to the sideboard of the deck because the GB version didn't have it. This is the kind of deck we're going to have a very hard time losing to be honest. These Scolies actually seem somewhat weaker, but they're fine. The Relics, however, do nothing. This seems good. Yeah, this hand's tempting, to be honest. Because it can cast 3 spells. I'm a mulligan, but it is tempting. This one, however, is definitely a mulligan. As is this one. I guess this is the keeper. Well, that's a little rough. Certainly not ideal. Okay, well, that's... the heck. I want to... there we go. Click through it the proper way. Alright, man down. So, Wasteland Shrinker is very good. Unfortunately, we actually need something to process. Which is making creatures enter tapped. Okay. Well, it's another Wasteland Strangler. Guess we can play the first one as a 3-2 to try to trade. Kalidas is obviously insane if we can get there. Man, the 1-drops here. Oh, please exile it. Oh, no. Oh, friend. He exiled it to gain a life. But if we draw land, it's going to punish him very hard. We could still die, but if we hit land here... alright. You know what? I would like to kill, I guess, this guy. He just wanted to gain a life, and it's going to punish him so hard. Alright, well, our guy still comes into play tapped, so we're taking, at a minimum, 4 damage next turn, and it could easily be more. But we're starting to turn the corner here. Yep. Whew, the Sawyer's Lieutenant could give it pretty big. Look at that. Exile one, please. I don't have a second Wasteland Strangler, surely, right? Oh my gosh, he did. Okay, well, this is kind of lucky. I won't lie. Well, Mutavault's not the worst draw I've ever seen. It doesn't... we can't cast Kalidas, but at least we can activate Mutavaults to trade with guys next turn. Well, this is pretty good for our mold of 4 or 5 or what. I think it was a mold of 4. About as good as we could hope for, to be honest. Alright, we'll take out the Glorybound Initiate. Okay, well, depending on what his last card is, I mean, we could be dead. His last card could be Brave the Elements, and we're just dead on board, so it doesn't matter. But if it's not, oh, I will take that. So I'd actually like to hit land off the top here. Land off the top is what we want. Perfect. Alright, there's a Kalitas. Alright, this might work. We can activate Immunivault to chump block the Thalia's Lieutenant. And he's top decking, so if he top decked a land or something, we're actually in a good spot. Even if this is, say, okay. That doesn't kill us. I guess I block with both here. I mean, I can chump. There's actually no reason I can't just chump block. Blocking with both is probably bad. I think chump blocking is probably best. Because then we can actually sack, if the next turn say that nothing happens and we repeat, we can actually just sack the Mutavault to Kalitas after. Yeah, so just chump blocking here I like. Tideholder Scholar is fine. Again, we can block, is a zombie, right? Does that work? Yeah, and then we can, oops. Oh, I can't play this. If I play this, I die. So, yeah, back to that other plan, I guess. So we can chump block with Mutavault, sacrifice it to Kalitas, and then he actually doesn't have attacks. I mean, he might have attacks. We can, it gives us a chance to draw removal, though. Okay, well, there we go. We got a 5/6 Kalitas. We're on the road to getting back in the game. That was a very, very bad draw. Well, I mean, it allows us to cast the Tideholder Scholar next turn, so it could be worse. But if he could just draw a land, that'd be great. Okay, well, that's a big guy, too. Well, I can pull off this chump block trick one more turn. I don't think he wants to attack with everything. I don't think that's a good decision. Because I can do this again. If he swings with his Glorybound Initiate, I think we win. As it gives us a big life cushion. He's thinking about it. Because we chump block here, we make this 7. We take 6. Yeah. There you go. Well, he figured it out. No, or maybe he didn't. To be determined. Nope, swinging with nothing. Okay. Alright. Sure, gain a life. Well, now we can throw our Scholar in the way of the Thalia's Lieutenant, and depending on his attacks, we could actually just, go for the full-on chump block and use the Mutavault on something else. That's what we need to figure out then. Okay, so we can put this in front of Thalia. Alright, we'd want to get in front of this one. We get in front of that. We get in front of this. We could, say, put this in front of this. At which point we're taking 5 damage. Although really it's, I want to kill, maybe I don't even care about the Glorybound. Maybe it's like the Thalia and the Champion of the Parish I want to take off the table. I could put the Tideholder Scholar in front of the Champion. I could put the Mutavault. Well, I could, okay, so a lot of options here. We can go for the max trade option, which is Mutavault in front of Thalia's Lieutenant, Scholar in front of Champion of the Parish, Kalitas in front of this, take 6 but gain 5. Oh, that kills us actually. So, but say we put the Scholar in front of the Soldier of the Pantheon, and say we put the Kalitas in front of the Glorybound Initiate, and we chump block here. Then we're taking 5, but gaining 5. So we survive and clear his board really well. Or I can just put the Tideholder Scholar in front of the Thalia's Lieutenant, put the Kalitas in front of this thing, sacrifice the Tideholder Scholar to the Kalitas, take 6, 8, but gain 7, and we die if we do that too. So I actually don't have that many options. Or I guess we have to then just throw the Tideholder Scholar in front of the Thalia's Lieutenant, throw the Mutavault in front of the Soldier of the Pantheon, throw the Kalitas in front of this, take 5, gain 5, don't die. Well, that's what we got to do. He could also obviously have drawn anything to kill us, but... Okay, I think this is what we have to do. This line doesn't... We don't get to... Oh my god, I'm so stupid. It has first strike. Does that mean we're... I did so much thinking. Just everything has first strike. Does it mean we're dead regardless? Because if we'd put this here... No, we could have put this here. Chump block. Survived. Drawn another Scholar. Oh, that was silly. Pretty dumb. Kind of like the Blessed Alliance here. Over like the Smasher. Because we're playing defense. Whatever, in the words of Martin Muller, if sometimes you play Magic, if you play Magic, you're going to mess up. That was a mulligan to 4 for us. And we'll keep this one. Yeah, that was obviously a very, 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 very bad punt. But I'm not sure, you know, chump blocking there doesn't necessarily mean it's better for us, though. Get the Kithian. Because if we chump block there, you know, we gain some life, but we're still under the gun. By quite a bit, to be honest. We might have drawn out of it, we might not have, I don't know. Oh, he drew another Kithian. Well, okay, I don't want you to have that. You can have these Wobo Reapers. I think we're probably going to do alright in this game anyway, so I'm not going to stress too hard about that, but we'll see if it catches us. Our opponent's in us a sad face for taking his second Kithian here. Alright, we got all the Woe Reapers. That guy's pretty big. Or at least he will be. Now he's big. Wasteland Strangler off the top would be clutch. Kalitas, not bad. We'll just go ahead and play the Lingering Souls here. Those get in front of Mardu Woe Reapers very well. We're going to let the champion get pretty big, and eventually we'll end up path to exiling it. That was the worst draw for us. Okay. Well, we'll trade the spirits off with one of them. And we'll take a bunch of damage here. But we get one of his cards off the board. I'll just go ahead and flash this back. And we will try to put 2 spirits in front of the Mardu Woe Reaper and path the champion of the parish. And then after that, we have Blessed Alliance up, possibly Kalitas. This deck does a lot of damage that we're playing against. Okay, well, he's got 1 card in hand, so hopefully it's not anything too scary. On Path to Exile, and that is pretty bad for us. Good news is we get to go get a land, so now we can cast Kalitas. Alright, well he's out of cards, so we take no damage this turn, so that's good. And he's not going to be able to, yeah, he's not going to be able to flip this thing, so. Okay, well, and that'll be that. Alright. Yep, indestructible doesn't matter much. Okay, so that's probably pretty good for us here. We get to play Kalitas next turn. I think we're off the hook. Now, it's also possible that, you know, maybe I was supposed to play Kalitas there and then kill his guy. I don't know. I kind of want to just get everything off the board while we can. Eldrazi Temple, huh? First one of those we've seen. Alright, so we have Blessed Alliance up here. But given that I'm not scared of anything he's doing, I'm going to use this opportunity to play the Kalitas. Now all we need is for him to not top deck something insane, and we're probably good to go here. Kithian's pretty good. Well, it was till we drew that. At the end of combat, huh? Okay. Well, I don't really see a way in which we lose here, so that's good. I guess it would involve him drawing Path for Kalitas immediately. That makes things a little more interesting. He's going to have a hard time getting through our hand, though. It's also possible I could have attacked with something and then escalated the Blessed Alliance, but that loses pretty hard to him drawing Thalia and making it cost more and not being able to Path and Blessed Alliance. Okay, so he wants to exert it. I think I'm just going to Path the Kithian. And then escalate the Blessed Alliance. Sure. Our opponent says value. Got me. I'll show you some value. It's escalating Blessed Alliance. Target player gains 4 life. Alright, choose target player. I'd like to gain 4 life. I'd like you to sacrifice a creature. Alright, this should do it. We're up to 9. This thing's going away. We get a zombie for the value. And we draw Lingering Souls, obviously, just because. And we can go ahead and attack with the team now. Hit him for 10. Play the Lingering Souls. Flash back the Lingering Souls. And we get there. Well, we punted game 2 there. I don't know if we could have won, even if we obviously hadn't, if I hadn't, you know, just didn't think through the blocks completely. We might have won, but it's very possible there was no way we were going to draw it, because we were going to take 1 million damage and face the same attack next turn, and we would have been chump blocking again, only chump blocking without the ability to sacrifice to our Kalitas. So it would have been this really weird thing where we're trying to gain life. I just don't think we were ever. We needed an answer to the 7/7 like our next 2 turns, and it just wasn't there. So maybe I could have played a little differently to grow the Kalitas. But if we didn't play the Scholar there and had just gone for the Mutavault and sack plan, we would have gained 7 and taken 8 based on the way we lined up those blocks, and we would have died anyways. So I don't think that there was any way to win. So I don't think that, you know, we needed a removal spell on top of our deck and it wasn't there. So while it was a punt, it actually didn't affect anything in the game. And we got there in game 3. So that happens sometimes, but that's when you play against a rogue deck like that, you're not always prepared, but good match.